What is up, For Honor family? Statement of the day. Afeera is what your favorite hero isn't. Let me talk about that for a second before you start getting crazy. Her fashion is probably the most questionable thing about her, and that's not even terrible. Outside of that, she could be a statue outside of the Heathmore gates if they had it. Is she my favorite hero? Not even close. But I can still admire the craftsmanship in which the devs went about when creating her. So Afeera's Hero Fest has arrived, so it's a good time where I want to do a quick profile on the hero. I picked her up for a few matches, and once I got my legs under me, you guys know it takes a few matches sometimes before you can really get that feel for a hero you haven't played in a while. But I'm telling you, at certain points, I felt like I was playing a different game than everyone else. I'm sure some of you have experienced that, but she's so smooth to use, can evade situations by dodging in any direction you choose, and that freedom of movement when used effectively and at the right time feels great. I feel so in control. She has the ability to apply pressure in various forms in group fights. Even if she doesn't have those sweeping heavy finishers like Griffin and Medjai, I still feel comfortable in the mix, in part thanks to her superior block. Her nimbleness is in line with Shinobi, but Shinobi's overall movement and the area covered, especially with that double dash, is a bit better. But her movement is excellent. Plus, she's not slow. You know how many heroes are naturally slow out the gate, like a Kensei, like a Sohei, but you would expect that. Even a Highlander, she's not slow, so you don't need any perk or feat enhancement like other heroes need, and she can traverse the map a lot better. She has a feintable bash from neutral and is a good way to open people up. In case you didn't realize it, this is the hero that started the directional dependent attacks, where her heavy finishers are top undodgeables. On the right side, she has her unblockable, and if you throw on the left side, she displaces. The devs amped it up with Virtuosa, with her evade stance that not only offers you different attacks for heavy and light, but you also get different bashes out of it. But we're gonna get back to Afeera here because I want you to understand what I said at the very beginning, where I said she is what your favorite hero isn't. Think about your most versatile knight. They don't match up with her. Glad, BP, Griffin, think about it. None of them really match up with her. How about a Viking? Highlander has a lot of tools, VG is a great support hero, but none of them you can say is a favorable matchup against Afeera. Now what about the Wulin? Nope, none of them. Shaolin is awesome, and he has great tools to play with. He's just a fun hero in general, but there's not one of them that can match the arsenal that she has. And if you look at the Samurai, the closest is Shinobi, but even that hero falls short. She has elite versatility. That is what I mean by she is what your favorite hero isn't. It's her versatility. And I'm comparing her to the other factions. You know, the factions that came in year 1 and year 2. So that's what I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about comparing her to other Outlanders that came after her. But all in all, I think we've noticed that the Outlanders have been getting the For Honor dev hero steroids since Afeera. Ocelot is more tame, but if you look at Hatun and Virtuoso, you can see how they are pushing the mechanics and trying to be more creative. VG doesn't match their creativity, but I do have to give them props for Sohei. I really like Sohei. Now, when Sohei came out, they needed to give him some buffs, but he's in a good place now. And I hope they can do something special for the next Wulin hero. The bottom line is, if you're looking for a Swiss Army knife of a hero, there's not many better choices based on her moveset alone than Afeera. All right, so let's move on to her new execution. Then we're gonna quickly touch on her feats and perks, because this is a profile, we gotta cover that. All right, so let's check out this execution. Look at the style of this execution. She does a graceful flip in there that reminds me of her signature on the winning screen. You guys remember what that looks like? You can see where her shield is compared to when she does that flip. Very similar. And then she follows it up with an impactful smack. I like the weight of that movement when she comes down. It's like all of her weight is coming down on her opponent. That's well done. You can see how it takes some of her actions from others, like that hooking underneath the arm, but she flips her opponent by hooking them under the arm versus smacking them with her shield like she does in another one of her executions. I really like this execution. It's not the most adventurous choice, but I still like it. They kept it on brand, as they should with these Hero Fest executions. Now let's take a quick look at her feats. Her unique feats are solid, but I can see people swapping out her tier 4 for Regenerate, where you can walk around and heal without needing a point, or even Stalwart Banner for an AoE heal effect. It just depends on how you want to approach the map as the hero. Tough as Nails and Heal on Block are her other tier 3 feats, and if you're trying to build a more defensive Afeera, you can use her unique tier 2 along with Heal on Block, since the tier 2 provides defensive boost after a successful attack, while Heal on Block allows you to gain health by blocking. So you can see the symmetry there. Speaking of her tier 2, the other options that she has there are Executioner's Respite, where you get extra health on execution, and Thrilling Comeback, which allows you to recover some of your health when you enter Revenge. If you're running the Headhunter perk, maybe you go with Executioner's Respite here. Her tier 1 has body count and tireless, so you have some flexibility with her feats that you can go with. I say this all the time, options are good. We love options. I think her tier 1 has some solid options. If you look at her perks, you can see she has an Assassin perk, and what I like to run with this perk grouping is Devour, Remedy, and Crush Them. Now, some people like Headhunter, but executions aren't guaranteed, so I like to go with perks that I know I will be able to use in every match, and for the most part throughout the match. It's all your preference based on how you want to play. This is just my take. You don't need to come at me on that. So that's the Afeera Hero Fest rundown and hero profile for you. I think everybody that's looking at this that hasn't used her, or you're like, I don't really like Afeera, give her another shot. Because I honestly don't play a lot of Afeera, but when you use her, I think you'll see some of the things that I've said in this, and you'll feel and understand it. Even if you don't like to use her, you may come to like her a little bit more. So pick her up and try her out if you haven't. That's what these Hero Fests are for. And you can try out some of these combos with the perks or the feats. Or in a miracle, maybe somebody will discover she's the one for you after all. But thanks for tuning in, y'all. I appreciate y'all doing so. We still have a couple more weeks before we get to the new season, a thorough samurai season. Oh, I'm getting hyped for that. I'm looking forward to it. But until next time, peace.